Known online as Angry Joe, Joe Vargas was born on June 18, 1984, and is a former member of Blistered Thumbs, the gaming division of ThatGuyWithTheGlasses.com, rebranded as Channel Awesome. Joe got his start on YouTube in 2008, doing rants and reviews about AAA games. Examples would include Fable, Far Cry, Fallout 3, Gears of War, and of course, Destiny.
That's it? What the fuck?
His reviewing style is based on the angry reviewer trend that was popularised in the early days of YouTube reviewers like the AVGN, Nostalgia Critic, Armec21, Spoonie, and Stan Birdman.
Gut, you're trying way too hard to be the angry gamer. This is really, really bad. You swear just for the sake of swearing. ... Lowercase I hate when kids make video game humor, unquote, videos or comics. Piss off. Gzus.
He would point out flaws in a game in a very exaggerated way. The type of angry you'd expect out of a high school drama student, you know, when they're told to emote more.
And it is extremely fun to grab somebody and punch them a few times, strangle them to death, and force them to pay your ass protection money.
Yeah, it's pretty bad, but trust me, he eventually gets better.
Excuse me?
I said, you're ugly.
Are you serious, mister? Are you serious, mister?
Alright, it's debatable.
He would have a mix of skit comedy like many contributors of That Guy with the Glasses as a way to increase the video quality, albeit the video quality in the early days was shot on a 2 megapixel webcam.
His videos would range from 20 minutes to an hour and would be shot over a green screen to have a more broadcaster feel, and sometimes he would actually be part of the game he's reviewing. He likes costumes, like, a lot.
Along with that, he would intersplice footage of the game to have a nice blend of his character with the actual subject matter. Sometimes his skits go a little too long, but that's par for the course for contributors of That Guy with the Glasses.
Along with some overly drawn-out skits, there was another familiarity with other Channel Awesome contributors, and that's condescension. Joe considered himself an authority figure in the gaming community, believing that he represented the majority of gamers.
Hell, he even looks like a douchebag jock, and he pretends to speak for all gamers.
Does he not realize that I represent you guys? That I represent a bunch of core gamers that have serious concerns with the show, and this is how he treats us?
Hey, excuse me, Mr. High and Mighty. You don't represent me. You represent yourself and your own selfish interests. You know, those interests of getting ahead and getting seen by everybody on the internet. You represent you.
This part of his persona has mostly been subdued in recent years, especially after being shot down by Jeff Keighley in the 2010 VGAs, after, asking a bunch of incoherent questions and insulting the man's job.
So I feel like you need to do a little more research before you attack us this time.
Oh, snap. This is not how I wanted to do it.
Come on, you're attacking me on the independent game, which is not what it is this year. You're telling me MMO should be nominated for Game of the Year, yet you can't name the MMOs it should be. And you're telling me that you don't know who's voting on the awards when it's public. So, I mean, come on, man, you have these rants.
Look, they're not thinly veiled, okay? Basically, I think that your show appeals to the lowest common denominator amongst gamers. Not every gamer is a slobbering idiot sitting on his mom's couch. That's what you appeal to. Back in 2002, you opened the show with Jenna Jameson basically saying that she's going to just take off her clothes. Do you think that's the kind of content that real gamers want in their premier gaming show?
That's 2002. I think it's a new show.
When were you the executive producer?
I started, I'm executive in charge of publisher relations starting, I think maybe 2007 or so.
2007, okay, so you weren't responsible for that?
Nothing to do with it.
Okay, I'm really looking forward to seeing what you have, because all I want to do is improve the VGAs.
Okay, well, you watch the show, you let me know what you think, and we'll have another conversation.
There's just a few more email questions. Would you take email questions? And maybe, because absolutely.
As of recent years, Joe just finds himself in controversy over actually being angry. Oh, who would have guessed Angry Joe is angry?
In April of 2018, he resigned his position from That Guy with the Glasses after the various scandals were revealed to the public. Joe simply said, "Peace, I'm out. That decision had literally no impact on his reputation. Many of his fans applauded him for leaving the toxic environment. Angry Joe managed to take the caustic critic format of others before him like James Rolf, the angry video game nerd, and build it into his own style. When Joe started to use all manner of green screen special effects, he was able to push past the production value of most video game review shows of the time and set himself apart. Personally, I've always found Joe's bombastic critic persona to be a little grating and disingenuous, but I can respect that he's kept at it for all these years, building up his own community for his website and staying relevant in a sea of gaming content. Joe received a lot of backlash when he first branched out into movie and TV blogs, and much like James Rolfe, his core audience seems to keep returning for one thing: his angry reviews.
Now it's time for my opinion on the man. I was never really a big fan of Joe. I do like him as a modern game reviewer to an extent. He certainly is willing to dish out some major complaints on a game, which I personally find that's when he's at his best. It's much easier to trash something than to sing its praises, but when he compliments a game, it gets to be a little bit overkill and a little bit awkward. It's very much like a pendulum. He swings from this extreme angry temperament, and that now seems authentic, to swinging over to the opposite end, to this overly praising of a game that doesn't seem authentic. I was watching his Cuphead review, and it felt like the longest 17 minutes of my life, and many of the praises were so surface level. I feel like you could review Cuphead in about 5 minutes and say all that you need to say. It's got charm, difficulty, and death is gonna happen. But in the end, it's a learning experience. Wow, that was a few seconds.
Joe is still making videos to this day. He's currently at 2.9 million subscribers, and I don't think it's hard to argue that he's the most successful story out of that guy with the glasses. He really knows the game of YouTube: consistent uploads, varied content, keeping to what made him popular, social media dumps. Joe isn't going anywhere.
I love that he's increased his production quality and consistently gives what the fans are asking for. Sometimes he lets the negative criticism get to him and have a legitimate breakdown.
Dude, this is such a low blow, and I'm sorry, but I'm telling you, thousands of subscribers are leaving. Why do you think that is? Do you think it's because of my video that only a few 100,000 people watched? No, it's because they see that's how you react to criticism. Immediately dismissive, who cares?
But after binging his content for the last couple of days, I'd like to say that Joe is still just Joe. Like the Superman shirt he wears in every video, Joe means well, and for the most part, he delivers.
I want these claims removed. My videos are being blocked worldwide. Reviews are being blocked worldwide. Why? When you review a piece of content, you are allowed to use clips of music, you are allowed to use clips of the game, you are allowed to use clips of whatever the hell it is you're reviewing. You do not need permission for the company to review their piece of content.
Well, thank you everyone for watching. This is just part of a multi-part collaboration. If you liked the video, please feel free to subscribe to Extramana and myself, Noble Absent, and be sure to tick that chime next to it to stay updated for future releases. Likes and shares are always appreciated. And with that being said, you can now join us on Extramana's channel, where we continue looking at producers of Channel Awesome, and this time we'll be talking about Lindsay Ellis. Holy crap.